I'm Amy Cherry. This local news is a service of Flagler County's Toyota dealer, Beaver Toyota, here to wow ya. One local health official is calling out members of the public he referred to as COVID minimizers. John Arking has more.
Flagler Medical Director Dr. Stephen Bickles, speaking at Wednesday's town hall event, said the general takeaway from those who try and portray the pandemic as being overhyped simply is not in line with the actual data.
People think it's not so bad, and they kind of use every little piece of data to support that. And one of these pieces was the death rate wasn't going to be so bad this surge because it was going to be younger people infected, so that even though the case number is going up, the death rate wasn't going to go up. Well, that turned out to be wrong. And yesterday, I think we set an all-time record in Florida. All the experts predicted this. So for those of you who think this isn't a serious infection, keep in mind Flagler, our local hospital, is as full with COVID patients as it's ever been. Levels like about 10 times what they were a couple months ago. And the death rate in Florida is as high as it's ever been. So this is a serious situation we're in. We are making some progress, but there's no reason for relaxing our vigil.
From the WNZF newsroom, I'm John Arking.
How are people who work at the hospital doing?
Advent Health Palm Coast Chief Operating Officer Wally Dacchino says that after the patients, the staff is the focus.
We want to make sure that the staff is not getting burnt out, because this has been a marathon, really. It started back in March. There is that stress level there.
Dacchino said that the hospital staff is resilient as they care for all the patients. He added that without the staff, they could not help other hospitals by taking some of their patients. To listen to our conversation with Advent Health Palm Coast Chief Operating Officer Wally Dacchino, download the Flagler radio app and then go to the Free for All Friday podcast. From the WNZF newsroom, I'm Deb Albertson.
A suspect who was shot by deputies earlier this month is now facing additional charges. 30-year-old Stephen Barneski of Bunnell is accused of pulling a gun on 3 Flagler County deputies who then fired at him, striking him multiple times. He initially faced charges of violating probation, drug possession, and leaving the scene of an accident with injury. Now he faces a host of weapons charges, as well as charges of aggravated assault on a law enforcement officer. Staley says Barneski, a convicted felon, should have never had a gun to begin with, and he's relieved his deputies weren't seriously injured or killed. Barneski remains behind bars with no bond. $9 million in grant money is coming to Flagler Executive Airport. Roy Seeger, the airport's executive director, tells WNZF how the money will be spent.
8.7 of that was to rehab runway 624. That's our crosswind runway, so we'll be able to get that one totally redone, rehabbed, and that'll be really the last piece of asphalt that we need to get done. After we're done, it's a brand new airport.
Another $250,000 will be going towards upgraded equipment in the air traffic control tower, and a $50,000 grant will enhance the airport's sewer system.
Added a little over $9 million since I've been here, able to took us over the $50 million mark of improvements we've done to this airport.
The airport also hopes to break ground this fall on a general aviation terminal.
15,000 square foot facility. It'll also be hardened also to be still operating as an emergency EOC.
That could come in handy during hurricanes. Flagler County Sheriff Rick Staley has been elected to join a statewide organization. With more, here's Tony Magoo.
The Florida Sheriff's Association held their 2020 summer meeting of all of the sheriffs in Bonita Springs on July 27th and 28th. During that conference, Florida sheriffs voted for their new board of directors, and Flagler County Sheriff Rick Staley was elected to join the board of directors. Sheriff Staley.
This allows me to represent Flagler County and the other 66 sheriffs in the direction and activities of the Florida Sheriff's Association.
The FSA has been in existence since 1893 and is one of the oldest professional law enforcement associations in this country. Their mission is to foster the effectiveness of the sheriffs through leadership, innovation, legislative initiatives, education, and training, while providing a unified voice for the protection of Florida's citizens and visitors. For Flagler's Morning News, I'm Tony Magoo.
And now you're up to date on Flagler's Morning News. I'm Amy Cherry.